I wanted to share with you a clip from a coaching session a few weeks ago where we talk about the difference between balance and harmony. As an entrepreneur, I'm sure the concept of balance has come up more than once for you. Here's the clip.
Yeah, that's a great question. Balance is something that I struggled with for a while. The main thing I struggled with was just understanding what it meant. To me, balance felt like almost I was having to balance on a tightrope. Uh, After I'd say it probably took me about 3 or 4 years of just working with that concept, and through having a conversation with my business coach, he was able to give me a new insight, and that's that balance isn't as important as harmony is. With balance, it is that tightrope feeling. Is I got 50% here, I got 50% here. If you've got a family, it's about 50% is spent with work, 30% is spent with family, and then 10% is spent maybe on recreational or some other uh, area. With harmony on the other side, it's almost a little bit like a dance where from time to time, maybe your business is going to require a little bit more time. Maybe this week your family requires a little bit more time. So with balance, it's this very surgical and logical and mathematically structured. Well, I've got to put 5 hours here, which means I've got to put 5 hours here, which really doesn't work. I mean, the nature of business is things evolve, things change over time. So you might find this week you're having to work 16, 18, maybe even 20-hour days just to get everything out the door to tackle those opportunities. And you might find 2 or 3 weeks later, all of a sudden an 8-hour day you're struggling to fill, or you're finding that you're able to get all of your work and all of your deliverables out. So you now have the opportunity to spend more of that time with your family, right? So with balance, I think the misnomer and the reason why a lot of people use that word is because we like to think that it's that tightrope. It's almost like this balancing act, right? And if we go back to what we spoke about a few weeks ago around mindset, is priming it through the lens of a balancing act really starts to introduce a whole other realm of challenges and problems. Whereas if you look at it as harmony, you look at it almost like this dance where from time to time you're going to spend a bit more time on your business, you're going to spend a bit more time with your family, you're going to spend this week you're feeling really burnt out, so you're going to spend a bit more time sleeping, which as an entrepreneur is 1,000 times better than a vacation after a week of just grinding. So I'd say start trying to look at it through the lens of harmony rather than balance, because I feel harmony is more about an always changing level of balance, where today you're looking at what works for today rather than just saying, well, I've got 5 hours. I got to spend 5 hours doing this. It's, well, no, today, these are the goals. These are the objectives I have. And that's going to take 8 hours. Tomorrow, the goals I have and the objectives I have are going to take 3 hours, right? So harmony gives you this continually evolving way of finding equilibrium, whereas balance is a very surgical and from my perspective, a very artificial way of looking at it, of just, saying, well, 5 hours every day is the same, rather than actually the reality, which is, 5 hours solving one type of problem is fundamentally different than, 5 hours solving a completely different type of problem. Does that make sense? Yeah, that's a great point, actually. In certain areas of your life, you can strive for balance, but overall, I feel like harmony is more applicable. So you might find that there's certain tasks you need to do, or certain responsibilities you have in your life that require that balance. It's one of the theories is called the four burners theory of being able to split your focus amongst four things and only being able to do 25% of each. So for some things that might work, but overall, I think as looking at it holistically across your entire life, I think harmony is significantly a more feasible way to approach that scenario than balance is.
What we'd love to know in the comments is what you prefer. Do you prefer focusing on balance or harmony? Have you even heard of the difference between balance and harmony before? Have you considered those topics? Let us know what you think in the comments.